Hey folks, and welcome back to Writer's Bone. I'm Daniel Ford.
I'm Sean Tui.
Man, you almost went before I did.
Yeah,
You're like,
I
I'm
did.
Sean Tui! It's me! Hi, Mom!
Show you out of the seat.
Yeah. I'm here to talk about... No, you'd be shouting it.
Yeah,
That's way too low-key for you.
Yeah, no, I'm not low key.
No.
I'm like a school bus full of orphans that has fireworks in the back that's heading towards a gas station that the bus driver's been drinking.
All right, so we're here to talk about our favorite Western movies. Yeah, we're just going to avoid everything that Sean just talked about. Mm-hmm. Sean, what's your favorite Western?
Movie?
Yep.
There's a couple. First one off the top of my head, Man Who Shot Liberty Valance.
Okay.
That has John Wayne, Lee Marvin, Jimmy Stewart. It's got an amazing cast, amazing story. The second to that would be another John Wayne movie, The Comancheros. Again, it has Lee Marvin and Stuart Whitman.
Yes.
That was a really good one. Appaloosa, which I brought up earlier on our podcast. That's another one up there. And I feel like I'm missing one. I was a fan of the spaghetti westerns too a little bit.
Oh, you got to be.
Like Duck You Sucker, that was a good one. Man with No Name series was also really good.
Oh,
the original Django with Frank Nero, I saw what I think is the first one because there's like 30 of the movies. Like there's some type of copyright mishap.
Right.
But that was also really good. But that, off the top of my head, I can say those were some of my favorites. I was a fan of the show Gunsmoke for a long time as well. That was a good one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, and The Virginian. I like that show.
Really? That one I've never heard of before.
Yeah, that was with Clint Walker.
Huh. Interesting.
Yeah, that was a good show.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
Are you gonna ask me what my
Yeah,
favorite Western is, or I'm
I-
just hanging out to dry?
I
here?
don't know, New York.
Am I just your interviewer?
Yeah. No, what are yours? Because actually, you brought some earlier on the podcast that I didn't think of, so I want to see where you go with it.
Well, I think my favorite of like the John Wayne era, The Searchers. Have you seen The Searchers?
yeah, beautiful movie.
So good.
Yeah.
I don't think you can qualify what he did on The Quiet Man as a Western.
Oh, this one he went to Ireland, right?
Yeah.
No,
But it's
no.
got like Western feel to it. Like it's almost a Western.
I think that's just John Wayne in general.
It's
Everything
John Wayne.
he-
Yeah, that's true. It's
everything
John Wayne
he did
doing a Western in
Ireland.
Yeah.
I don't know.
There's 12 guys drinking around him. Wait, all right, this makes sense. Yeah,
Yeah.
sure. Why not cowboys? Why? Sure.
He was an interesting character. I think we could do
Yeah.
a whole pod on him. What else? I mean, if it's not John Wayne, was there something else that stuck out in your mind?
Movie wise,
Yeah.
Unforgiven was one that I saw early on. Actually, a comedy was Three Amigos, which I still
Yeah.
defend as a great Western.
It is.
Because it's such a satire of Westerns, but at the same time, it's a great Western.
It was a movie made by people who love the genre,
Right.
but saw the flaws in it.
Right.
Yeah, definitely. That's you know what? Wow, that came from left field. Good
Yeah.
one. All right.
I used to. My parents we used to go to the video store back in the day before Netflix, and you worked in a video.
Yeah, I remember those Friday nights were like pure
Yeah.
adrenaline rush. That was amazing. Yeah.
So we'd go rent a bunch of movies, but I'm a creature of habit.
Yeah.
Have always been. So I always wanted to rent one of two things: either this Transformers animated movie, or Three Amigos. So my parents would send in my older brother to the video store.
Mm-hmm.
He would go in, hide Three Amigos, and then they're like, "All right, we're good to go." Like, he's not gonna, whatever. He's not gonna see it, therefore he's not gonna want it. No, I knew it was there. So I would just cry, carry on until they're like, "Fine." I asked later on, like, "Why didn't you just buy the movie?"
Yeah, at that point.
Like, we don't know.
Listen, we're just humans.
Yeah. It's still your fault, Dan. Like, don't put your shit on us.
So when you weren't crying over Three Amigos, which the weird statement, what are the other ones? Is there something that you said Unforgiven? Was there something maybe a little bit more modern in the last couple of years?
310 to Yuma.
Okay, yeah.
We talked to Derek Hawes on our website.
Yeah.
Another one would be that I liked was the remake to True Grit, which I thought was a great movie.
Oh, by the Coen Brothers.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
That was. Jeff Bridges was awesome. I feel
He
like
was
Jeff Bridges
really good in that movie.
Yeah.
And so was Matt Damon, actually.
Yes, I forgot he played the Ranger, the Texas Ranger.
Right. But the girl carried that entire movie. She was great.
Yeah,
Newcomer,
she's.
yeah.
What
She's been in a few things. I can't remember what off the top of my head, but she's been in a few things since then.
She has something coming up, a new Kevin Costner movie. Oh, you know what? So it just came to mind. One that I didn't think of. Are we on the same page?
I sure hope so.
Okay, you want to do it 1, 2, 3? And we'll say
No,
it?
let's
Okay.
not.
Or
We're
what
not
is it?
teenage girls. So
Okay.
you go first, and you do your thing, and then I will do my thing.
Wait, I was going to say Silverado.
I was going to say Tombstone, but
Oh, that's
Kurt Russell.
yeah.
Yeah.
We went two different ways.
But bringing up Kevin Costner, we'll get back to Silverado in a second.
Yeah.
Dances with Wolves. Does that count as a Western?
Is it?
I mean, it's about the West.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's a quote-unquote Western.
It doesn't have the elements of a classic Western. It's fringe. It has elements, I think, but it's not a Western. If you looked at it, you wouldn't say it was a Western. It's just a movie where
Is that because the Native Americans are the good guys?
The minute I see a movie with people with skin darker than mine, I get nervous. So, I mean... And also, it's all subtitled. No, it's a beautiful movie. It's wonderful. But it's on the fringe. It's like how you and I talked about Justified on the podcast.
Good point.
That's very fringe.
Right.
Tombstone. That actually... There's another great Western. Val Kilmer, Kurt Russell.
Val Kilmer. Moment of silence for Val Kilmer, who's still alive.
Yeah, I can't believe he's still kicking it. Sam Shepard. The guy who was married to Angelina Jolie at one point.
Billy Bob Thornton.
Yeah, a very young, fat Billy Bob Thornton. Like, fat.
Really?
Like, I'm calling this dude big.
I can't quite...
He's the card player. When they come into town, he's the card player, and Kurt Russell beats him and, like, berates him and kicks him out of town.
Awesome.
That is an awesome movie, but I remember on the train tracks, he's got the shotgun, Kurt Russell, and the guys, one guy's like, please don't kill me. He's like, you tell him I'm coming, and I'm bringing hell with me.
It's such a good Western movie. It's so chewy and like just it couldn't be in any other genre and make sense.
No, if you put that in a Lethal Weapon movie, it'd be like I don't get this. What? Murtaugh's getting a little crazy in his old age.
I'm too old for looking across the valley at the Native Americans coming across the plains.
Yeah, it doesn't work. I feel it. Yeah.
You got uncomfortable just now.
Yeah. I don't like this. But Danny Glover is in Silverado, who was played Murtaugh. Silverado was won by Kasdan, the guy who wrote Indiana Jones. He wrote Empire Strikes Back, Return of the Jedi. And then he went and did his own movies,
right?
Of course. But Silverado was this awesome movie. It has Kevin Kline, a very young Kevin Costner. I think it's one of his first roles. Danny Glover, another young player at the time. Jeff Goldblum. I mean, it's got an
good cast.
Amazing cast, and it was a movie. You know how you said we're talking about Three Amigos. That was a movie that was made by people who loved the genre but saw the flaws in it. This is a person who loved the genre but only saw the good in it.
Right.
So it's both sides of the coin.
Interesting.
Yeah. So that's a good one. What's another one? Because Kevin Costner's made a few.
I think I've only seen the Dances with Wolves.
Open Range.
Recently,
right. Robert Duvall.
Right.
That was an unfortunate movie that not a lot of people saw. It had beautiful work. Beautiful
I've heard everyone who's seen it has nothing but good things to say about it.
Yeah, but that was a movie that just came out at the wrong time. Wrong time, wrong place. Did not work.
Yeah.
So, here, let me ask you something. If you were to do a Western, you're a writer, so let's do a game right now. If you were to create your own Western story, what would it be? Would you modernize it? Would you go back to the time of 1860? Where would Dan Ford take it?
That's a good question. I think I would have to compete with the historian in me.
Yeah.
Like, I think I would have to sit down for, weeks and think about, what time I wanted to set it in.
Mm-hmm.
But I think I'd probably end up doing it modern time, similar to what Craig Johnson does, that type of thing.
Okay, same with the Wallmeyer series.
Right, but not without any of the crime drama. He wouldn't be a sheriff or something, but something similar to the Seven Samurai or
Magnificent Seven.
Right, or Unforgiven.
Mm-hmm.
Those types of movies where it's one more job, one less thing. So, you know what? I probably ended up doing it in the past.
Okay.
So I'm already backtracking.
Oh, okay, so if you did, you could do that.
I would write a version of Unforgiven. Because there's no way I could. Yeah, wait, let me get a copy of the script. Oh, no, this is good. No, this is great stuff. Great stuff.
Awesome. Well, I mean, you could modernize that story. You can still modernize that story in the West. I mean, you could have, the West now, what is now the West, I mean, they have crime. They have the same thing.
Serious
it's just modern,
right,
yeah. So you could still write it, but just put it inject it into the modern time. Would you feel comfortable with that? Would it be, or would you just be like, let's go back in the day?
I don't know. I think I'd have to do a lot of research either way because I've never lived out west.
Yeah.
So I think I might actually have to do that, just be around the West for a certain amount of time before I felt comfortable writing about it.
Okay.
What about you?
It's a tough question. as much as I'm interested in the past and I love the idea of guys riding horses and going to town, I feel that I would probably feel most comfortable writing a modernized version of it, of people now, today's time, modern crime, and the dialogue. I feel I would just be a little bit more comfortable with it because I would have a connection to it. Because otherwise, I feel like I would just write. If I'm writing about 1860, a town in 1860, I would want to put in all this detail about 1860, and I may lose the character because that's just how I am.
I agree. No, I'm the same way. Yep.
Something I do kind of like is, have you ever thought like, Westerns somewhat in the future, kind of like Firefly, Joss Whedon did that, which I really liked. One that kind of gets looked over because it's one of the fringe ones. Mad Max, Road Warrior.
I never saw any of the Mad Max movies.
Top 5 favorite movie of all time.
Interesting.
It is. I could talk an hour-long podcast about the experience of watching Road Warrior for the first time.
We might have to do that.
But that is, fringe kind of on their modernization of the cowboy story.
Loved Firefly.
Yeah,
Did you watch Firefly?
Oh, yeah. Huge Firefly fan.
Good stuff.
It was, but they took the elements of a Western and they put it and they modernized it.
Right. Well, the story of Star Wars is essentially like a Western in space.
Yeah. Yeah, he even talks about it. Yeah.
Yep.
Wow. If you think how much Westerns have influenced over the years, the stories of good versus evil, the characterizations of the lone gunman who's, going and riding out into the wild with no support but gains a clan along the way has, Star Wars, you just said, Firefly.
Indiana Jones, the same thing. They talked about how it was based on serials back in, when they were watching as kids.
Yeah,
Spielberg and Lucas.
Yeah. Okay, I didn't think about that. Yeah. Fedora. Yeah.
Hat. Anyone that wears a hat, Western.
Yeah.
Well, baseball cap.
Yankees.
Could you have a cowboy wearing a baseball hat? There we go. There's my angle on it.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah.
Instead of Raylan Givens wearing the cowboy hat, I'm going to wear a baseball cap.
You know what? I would love to see if you could write a story, a modern-day Western, where a New York cop goes to be a sheriff out in Wyoming. And I would like to see those two worlds collide. I think that could either be really, really funny and a great story, or crash and burn. Or that could be like a plane piloted by Japanese women.
Yeah. Sean has definitely set expectations the right way.
Yeah.
Right now.
Well,
Dan, you're going to do an okay job, or you're going to
I believe you. I don't think you would do a bad job. I think it's the way the story is already set up. There's some stories out there, no matter how you approach it, it's always going to be bad.
I think we should write this together.
We can do that.
I think we're going to do this.
Okay, I like this. I would watch that and or read it.
Agreed. All right, folks. We're going to go write that right quick. In the meantime, check us out at writersbone.com or tweet us at writersbone. And check out our interview with Craig Johnson on our website.
Yeah, we have
a podcast.
Ooh, yeah.
Good stuff.
Yeah.
And in the meantime, keep writing.